started seeing all these coincidences. The kind of things you could say, well, maybe it's just, but it just happened over and over again. Have you ever had that happen? Hi folks, Father Columba here. Jesus says this cool thing when he calls Peter, Andrew, James and John, and they're in their boats cleaning their nets, they're fishermen. And he says, follow me and I'll make you fishers of men. Kind of saying like, oh yeah, okay, you catch small little creatures with big nets. Oh, well done. How about catching humans? It is intrinsic to the meaning of a disciple is that you will give testimony to other people about the one you are a disciple of. And that's always a challenge. Now, I get an easy out because I do these videos and it's really easy. I just talk to little camera. Hi, little camera. And then some friends of mine put it all over the interwebs. So that's handy. And getting lots of stories of people who have been positively impacted by these. So that's one of the ways I do a little bit of fishing for men and women, fishing for souls. But I heard a friend, he was giving a talk at an event called Camp Veritas. It's a youth summer camp. And they have one of them in Ireland, the rest are in America. I don't know if you've ever been to an event. You've been away maybe on a retreat, or you went on a pilgrimage. Maybe you went to Medjugorje or Lourdes or somewhere, and you were blessed by it. Something really touched you and you're like, wow, that was great. The challenge when you were asked in work, where were you over the weekend? Or wow, where'd you go for your holidays? And a lot of people will shy away from that. But interestingly, my friend, what he said is he loves when people ask him that question because it gives him a chance to fish. Now, by that, he means that if someone says, oh, where were you over the last week you were away? And he'll come straight out. He's a bold sort of guy. No problem to him. Comes straight out and says, oh, I was in Ireland helping run a youth camp, like a Catholic summer camp. And he says, and that's me casting in the line. And some people go, oh, okay. They like move on, they change the subject, they don't react. And that's when he knows, oh, they're not biting. Okay, let's cast it into someone else, another fish out there. So he lets it go immediately. But that is actually the opportunity. It's not that, oh no, he's thinking, oh no, this is an opportunity for me to be rejected and laughed at or whatever. It's like, no. This is where he's going. He's going after people. They're the ones who are under the microscope in a sense. He's like, And if somebody reacts in a positive way to him saying, oh, I was at a retreat, or oh, I was at this conference, or oh, I was in Ireland running this Catholic summer camp. If someone goes, oh, wow, I used to be Catholic. Wow, what's that like? They show any interest, or they talk about prayer, or they show some response to what he said, they bite. Bingo. I've shared with you in one of the other videos about returning to the grace that God gives you. So you have some event, something happens in your life and it really impacts you. That in your prayer time, especially when you're starting your prayer time, to place yourself, remember and imagine and go back to that moment of grace. Remember what it felt like, and that you actually can receive more grace. That's like a wellspring, a fountain that's opened up for you. And as you go back to it, you'll receive some of that wellspring of grace into your heart right now. And so too, we can actually lead other people back to those well springs. So they had a powerful experience when they were a kid. Tell me about it. Suggesting something of prayer, or like promising to pray for them, or say like, do you know what? I have a rosary. I could bring it into you. There's so many just like really, really short little prayers. So for example, there's one called the Miracle Prayer, or the Serenity Prayer is very, very popular with many people. The Novena of Surrender is a great one. And you can have them on a piece of paper. You could give it to somebody and say, I don't know if you're interested, but here, take this home. When I just started saying it, I started seeing all these coincidences and it's kind of things you could say, well, maybe it's just, but it just happened over and over again. Have you ever had that happen? We want to go after the folks who are ready, not the folks who aren't. And that's the genius of what my friend's saying. We go fishing. And if the fish don't bite, that's okay. We, as the fishers of men, fishers of people, we're powerless over making the fish bite. But if we don't throw in the hook, they could be biting all they like, but we're never going to land them. People can be chomping, they're hungry, they're looking for God, but nobody's fishing for them. Nobody's giving that connection, saying, wow, that desire in your heart, that moment of grace, here's a connection to the one who's the source of that. It just takes a little bit of a step, right? Just to admit to people, maybe our workmates, yeah, I was on a retreat, or yeah, do you know what? I do go to mass, or yeah, I do pray. But those things actually, the awkwardness is proof that there's a hook to it. that there's like, okay, they're actually going to feel this a little bit. There's something in this that could catch them and could help draw them to God. So just there you go. Hope that's helpful. Bless you guys.